Do you think this is a cover-up?
Well, you played Pam Bondi explaining it in the cabinet meeting today, and what she said sounds plausible. But what is hard to understand is why did she wait 5 months from February when she said there is a client list and it's sitting on my desk, and today she explains, no, there wasn't a client list, I was just referring to the file more generally. Why 5 months for her to explain that? You also have to think about the fact, and the reporter didn't mention this, that Elon Musk tweeted last month that the reason that the Epstein files have not been released is because President Trump is on the client list. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what Elon said. And so that has also created a lot of skepticism about how the administration has handled this. I don't think this is going to go away. And in many ways, President Trump and the Trump administration are victims of their supporters who played this up as a conspiracy. And now they're not going to give up even when the person they chose is in office.
But I want to talk about tariffs as well in the economy. So, David, we saw President Trump announcing a 50% tariff on copper imports. Some Democrats in the beginning said sector-specific tariffs are the way to go. Do you think this is a good move?
Well, it's a bit confusing because we have sector-specific tariffs and we have country-specific tariffs. And this tariff on copper is hard to understand because it's a huge 50%. The country really needs copper. For instance, we're developing electric vehicles. Electric vehicles take a lot of copper for the battery. And so how are we going to have electric vehicles that are affordable and competitive if we have such a high tariff on copper? Remember, if the goal is to get more production of copper inside the United States, that's a worthy goal. But it takes years to build a new copper mine, to finance it, and to be able to exploit the copper. And so we're years away from there being any actual benefit to the economy from what President Trump is trying to accomplish. Also, with the tariffs on countries, I think it's creating a lot of uncertainty. So Trump's goal is to keep countries off guard and to scare them and then pull back the threats when they comply. But for companies that are trying to invest in a country like the United States, they have no idea what the tariff will be because he keeps issuing them and then pulling them back. So there's no stability to support investment.
And also the messaging to U.S. allies like Japan and South Korea, who he specifically targeted this week. Do you think that does degrade the relationship with these allies, or that they understand at this point that it is part of President Trump's negotiation, David?
My guess is they're pretty confused. I watched President Trump today in the cabinet meeting. He said really nice things about China. He said President Xi is being very cooperative. I thought China was the main target of the Trump tariffs. I thought he was most upset by the trade imbalance with China. But all he could say was positive things about China, and yet he's being really tough on the countries you mentioned, which are close allies like Japan, like South Korea. And now there's a discussion about the EU. He promised in the cabinet meeting today that he's going to send a letter to the EU within 2 days. That means they're going to get a specific threat of a tariff as well.